Hello my friends, I'm Alex, and a while ago I posted to Instagram the last of the FLORA series, which was of DO, and I explained that unfortunately I can't make a speed paint video for that particular painting because the raw files I have of the recording have actually corrupted. So I thought that instead I'd make a video where I talked a little bit about my inspiration behind the series and what I was thinking when I planned the drawings. When I plan a series, I usually have a particular technique or skill that I'm looking to develop. So for example, in the Quixotic series, I wanted to practice using different kinds of references and combining them together in a creative way. And when I did the Pardon My Garden series, I wanted to practice using watercolours and also to do a style that was a little bit less realistic than my usual style. But when I did the FLORA series, I didn't have something like that. I decided to use media that I was already familiar and comfortable with, and I also chose subjects that I was confident in drawing and painting. And so in that way, the FLORA series was actually quite indulgent for me. So I just did things that I liked, and I didn't really have a particular concept or feeling that I was going for. When I did the series, I just wanted to do something that was simple but aesthetically pleasing. I think that kind of attitude seeped out into my process because I didn't really have a plan for which member should have which flowers and which member should have which colours. I mean, before I sat down to do a painting, I had a sort of idea in my head about what colour palette I wanted to use, but I didn't really think about it beforehand. I don't actually know flowers that well, and I don't know their meanings or anything like that. So the flowers in this series, most people know, I would suppose. I also didn't have a particular order that I did the members in. I just did whichever one I kind of felt like when I sat down to do the painting. This particular drawing here is of Suho, and it's the first version of his drawing for the series, but I wasn't really happy with how this one turned out, so I ended up redoing it. The things that made me decide not to use this particular one were, number one, I wasn't really happy with how the sketch came out. I felt like it was a little bit too plastic and stiff, and also I wasn't paying attention, so I oversaturated my paints, which meant that they all came out really dark, and I ended up not liking how the colours came together, and also the colours didn't match. So you can see the colours in the final painting are a lot softer than the ones you will see in this one. Something that I learnt probably while I was doing this series was I learnt a bit more about washes. For example, I'm still not very good with them, but I think I improved over the course of this series. And I also practiced using watercolours to do flowers in a more complicated way than I've done before. The part of the series that I enjoyed most, so the part of each drawing that I enjoyed doing the most, was probably the sketch in biro, so ballpoint pen. I really enjoy using ballpoint pen as a medium because it's quite clean. When I was learning how to draw, I think I made a lot more progress once I started trying to do things in ballpoint pen, because you have that freedom of darkening your lines or lightening your lines by pressing harder or pressing lighter with your pen, but at the same time you can't erase what you've already put down on the paper, and because of that you have to work with your mistakes and make them work with the drawing. I think that helps you build confidence when you're starting out and you keep on second guessing every line that you put down. And I think those small mistakes that you work into a drawing give it a bit of character, and they make it feel like it was really drawn by a person, and I quite like that. Anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed this series. And if you enjoy videos like this where I do a voiceover, please let me know and I'll try and do some more. And I hope that you all have a wonderful new year.